I'm Gray Johnson. I'm Cecil Johnson's oldest son. I'm delighted to be here for the dedication today, and I wanted to share a few stories about my background and relationship with the School of Industrial Engineering and the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers. I did not go to Georgia Tech myself, but I do feel like I had my father's course. I certainly feel that way, and I feel I learned a great deal from him. Early memories that I have are in the days of Colonel Grosclose and getting to spend time around my father and Colonel Grosclose. One time he challenged my father to do an experiment, and we went over to one of the chemistry classrooms, one of the large classrooms, on a Sunday afternoon to clean it. And the theory was that a clean classroom would encourage students to take good care of it. And I think the experiment verified what the hypothesis was. So there were days with Colonel Grosclose. I remember him coming to our house. I remember when Colonel Grosclose retired and my father helped for the retirement preparations and had the well-known sculptor Julian Harris do a bust of Colonel Grosclose that's in the main entrance to the building. Excellent memory. Later I remember Lillian Gilbreth coming to Atlanta for one of the national conventions of the Institute of Industrial Engineers, and my father saying, "Now, this person coming, we're picking her up at the airport, it's a big deal." And I grasped that day that it was a big deal, and it was really a neat memory, and from the viewpoint of perhaps an 8-year-old at that time. Other excellent memories along the way, back in the French building as well as in the newer building. And the main thing my father taught with me is the importance of challenge, and he was always challenging to me as he was to his students. There's always a better way. There's a way to break things apart, break the system apart into its components, study the individual pieces, and then put it back together. And standard solutions, creative solutions, what are the scientific principles involved, and so forth. And my father passed away 7 years ago, and as the oldest child, it was my responsibility to go through his papers and belongings and so forth. And I had a really neat experience with this, which is sort of like breaking the system apart again. He grew up during the Depression, so he held on to a lot of things. And what struck me through all of this is the unwavering integrity of all these pieces and how they fit together. He was dedicated to the pursuit of truth. He was dedicated to his students and advancing the field of knowledge. He was editor for 10 years. I had good memories of that editor of the Journal of Industrial Engineering. And he had an executive assistant named Emma Donnelly that worked for him those 10 years. And I was impressed to go by his office and to see the volume of work that they handled on a referee journal. And she was an English major in college, and just the amount of correspondence that went on and the efficiency with which they did that. One of the interesting things that happened along the way is the journal was audited every year. And my father always had a saying to everyone he came in contact that we all need to be audited. He welcomed the auditor. He came down, I think at that time, from Minneapolis and spent a few days, and he broke everything apart financially and put it back together, which gave the confidence that things were being handled properly. But it's an honor to be here today. It's an honor for our family. I've gotten to know a good many students over the years, former students of my father's. That's been a blessing to me. It's been an encouragement. And one of the favorite things I picked up along the way from my father is when people ask him what he didn't say he's a professor. He didn't say he's a scientist. Didn't say he's an engineer. He would say, "I grow people." And he did grow up with an agrarian background. And he was pretty much reared and schooled that he would be a farmer. He grew up on a farm. If he had been fortunate, he would have been able to go to college and maybe become a county agent one day. But fate changed that. He was in the Depression. It was going to be very difficult to go to college. His sisters, older sisters, did save up for him to go to college 1 year. And then World War II came, and he was a pilot in World War II, a B-24 pilot, and through the GI Bill, came to Georgia Tech afterward, and and graduated first in general engineering, then a degree in industrial a year later. Later his master's in tech and industrial engineering, and worked away about 5 years, and then was here full-time faculty for 37. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'm delighted to be part of it.